What's up guys, Doomwake here, welcome back to another modern video on the channel. As always, before we continue, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Please be sure to let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the video, because we got some new cards today. I'm really excited about this, and a lot of these decks that you'll see probably over the next couple of days are going to have a lot of 4-ofs, because we're just kind of, testing some cards out to see how they play. But if you watched one of my recent videos, the top 10 Innistrad cards for Modern, this deck happens to have 2 of those cards, and this is a deck that I'm really excited about. I think that Zombies got some pretty big upgrades. This is a little bit different than most of the zombie lists that I've been seeing, but this is kind of where I wanted to start, and I'll kind of go over the genesis of the deck and sort of what my inspiration for was with this deck. I got most of this list comes from a person who was in my Twitch chat, Turtle Power. They played this deck a lot. They played this deck yesterday. I think they went 4-1. I think they lost playing for the 5-0. So a lot of the inspiration comes from that, but sort of I'll give you the general premise of what's going on here. So we have a zombie deck, as you can see. We have 4 copies of Aether Vial, which is a card that I haven't seen a lot of zombie lists play, but a card that I think is really good, especially when you have Champion of the Perished. So if you kind of think about the Humans deck, right? The Humans deck that's been around forever in Modern. And the Humans deck has Aether Vial and a bunch of it's Aether Vial and 37 creatures, right? Or 30, whatever. A lot of creatures. And they have Lords, right? So my thinking was that Zombies got a really aggressive 1-drop, and it got a 2-mana Lord. So what if we just took the Humans approach to the zombie deck and played Aether Vial and 8 Lords? As you can see, we have the new one, which is Bladestitched Skaab. 2 mana, 2/3, gives all your zombies +1/+0. And then we have Diregraph Captain, which not only just is a Lord, 3 mana, 2/2, Death Touch, pumps all your zombies. Whenever another zombie you control dies, each target opponent loses 1 life. Which, by the way, is very similar to Mayhem Devil. So it kind of gives you more effective copies of Mayhem Devil, which are really good with your Bombardment Carrion Feeder draws, while also allowing you to go, create a better board presence having those additional Lords. So that's kind of the genesis and the idea behind this deck. I don't know if this is the best way to approach zombies, but again, we're just jamming a bunch of 4-ofs. I want to try out all the cards, see how this plays out, and then maybe we can make changes after. Again, obviously the cards that I think that are not the best in this deck are maybe the Captains and the Scabs, but I want to see how those play out and if that's a good way to approach this deck. So that's what we're trying out. And then obviously the other new card that everybody's talking about, Champion of the Perished. It's akin to Champion of the Perished from the original Innistrad. However, it's in zombie form. It's been zombified. So it's 1 mana 1/1. Whenever there's a zombie enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter under your control. Put a counter on it. So very powerful, aggressively slanted creature, and very powerful in combination with Aether Vial, because Champion is really, really good when you're double spelling. Champion gets awkward when you're only playing 1 spell a turn. You go turn 1 Champion into a 2-drop, into a 3-drop. Like, that curve is fine, but it's not taking full advantage of the power level of the card, and that's why we're playing with Aether Vial. Mana base, as far as going over the rest of the deck, Goblin Bombardment, which is a sacrifice outlet, very powerful in combination with Gravecrawler, Geralf's Messenger, and Mayhem Devil, along with the aforementioned Captains as well. Messenger is another card you don't see a ton of, but with Aether Vial, ticking Vial up to 3, now we have 12 good 3-drops, and that's kind of what another reason I like Vial so much, is because you get to turn 3, tick it up to 3, and now you have, a Vial on 3 and 3 mana to be able to play 2 3-drops, which is pretty powerful. I have also considered, maybe trying to cut the blue and play Collected Company, cut the blue for just other black or red cards, and then just be like a Jund deck with Company. The only thing is about playing Company is, similar to the Jund Sacrifice deck that Spike has been playing a lot, that deck has a lot of mana acceleration. Just trying to cast Company on turn 4, yeah, it's not, it's not the best. Obviously, Collecting Company on turn 3 is your nut draw. So I'm not sure if that would be the best way to approach that, but that's another avenue you could take this. And then in the mana base, we got 8 fetch lands for Mayhem Devil, 5 shock lands, 4 caverns, because we are basically, we're mono zombies. Every creature in our deck is a zombie. And then some basic swamps to round out the mana base. And then looking at the sideboard, we have another new card that I'm pretty happy about trying, Infernal Grasp. I'm not sure if 4 copies of Grasp is the correct number, because on the draw against Ragavan, Grasp is a little sketchy. However, it is nice that it kills, Murktide Regent, kills Ragavan, kills DRC. So I kind of want to try 4 copies at first, just to see. And again, I will preface this, these numbers are probably not correct, but I want to try all of the new cards, because when you're testing new decks, the most important thing is drawing the new cards more frequently to see how good they are. So you get a bigger sample size of the amount of games where you're drawing the new cards in to see if they're good, and then you can find out if they're good or not. Once you have that information, then you can, make other changes to the deck with that information. So that's why we're playing 4 of all the new cards. I just want to try it out. Again, that's probably better served as maybe a split of like 2 Grasp, 2 Push or something like that. But we're going to try out 4 Grasp for now. 3 Chalice of the Void, 3 Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize very good against Control. Chalice of the Void very good against Crashing Footfalls and Living End. You can also bring in Chalice of the Void on 1 because you're an Aether Vial Cavern deck. So you have 12 1-drops, however, you can get them through Chalice on 1 with Cavern and Vial. So I am going to bring in Chalice of the Void against DRC Ragavan decks as well. We got Blood Moon for Tron and, I guess, Elementals. And then Engineered Explosives for Hammer Time, Rhinos, that kind of stuff. So that is the deck list. Again, all 4 ofs, pretty clean. And I'm super excited to see how this goes. Will it go bad? Yeah, probably. But again, it's all a learning experience with these new cards. So I hope you're as excited as I am to get into this. So without further ado, I'll see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. Alrighty, YouTube, we're here, round number 1. It's the first game on the YouTube channel with Innistrad cards. By the way, I will say the record feature that you usually see up there, unavailable today. Whenever Magic Online has downtime, sometimes it's usually down for about 24 to 48 hours, so hopefully it'll be up by the next YouTube video, but for today, unfortunately, it is down today. So, let's go. What do we got? We got a 1-lander with no Aether Vial. Usually I'd keep any 1-land hand with Aether Vial. Fortunately, this one does not have the Vial, so I think we gotta take a mulligan. And this hand is considerably worse, so we'll go to 5 here. Go to 5. And this hand has lands and spells. I think I'm gonna put back those. That's fine. Alright, Gravecrawler. Ever powerful 2/1 can't block. Eldrazi Temple. Okay. Let's go attack for 2. Let's play Bombardment, leaving the fetch land uncracked just in case we find a Mayhem Devil. I guess we would have to draw a non-fetch land. Yeah, I don't know, but you never know. Might as well just... No reason to fetch here. Can also just get a basic Swamp with it, too. Scavenger Grounds main deck. And a Chalice? I don't really care too much about Chalice. Especially if I find a Cavern. It's not the biggest concern. I mean, it does kind of stop the Bombardment Gravecrawler stuff, but... definitely attack. What's more important to get into play if they have Thought-Knot Seer? Probably this, because then I can just sack this EOT and start bashing for 4. So let's just do that. I mean, it does kind of suck if they Thought-Knot Seer the Undead Augur, but... No matter what, like, either of these getting Thought-Knot Seer would kind of stink. Hopefully they just don't have the Thought-Knot Seer. But they almost always do. Oh, they got Matter Shaper. Okay, okay. That's the real payoff. I'm not going to sack the Messenger. Oh, interesting. I think I'm still going to cast the Augur here. I'm going to cast Augur and then attack with both, see what they do. I assume they block the Messenger. They block the Gravecrawler? Because I can't recast the Gravecrawler currently. After careful consideration, they've decided to block the Messenger. I will let damage happen. They get a trigger, which is a Thought-Knot Seer. We get that back, draw a card, which is hopefully a land. No, it's not. But that one's not bad. Because now they have a pretty tough decision of what the Thought-Knot's here. Because, I mean, I guess they probably just have to take the Devil? Maybe they don't. I'm not sure what they take with Thought-Knots here. I assume they cast it. I think all roads lead to them casting Thought-Knots here this turn. Well, they definitely can't cast Karn, because they're just dead on board if they play Karn, so they definitely can't do that. But again, you know, at least we have 2 good cards if they Thought-Knot Zero, so it's not too bad. My guess is that they would probably take... They take the Devil, then I play Skaab, attack with everything. Oh, they're still dead on board. Well, unless they trade with the Messenger, right? But if they take Devil and I play Skaab, then they have to... Wait, they're playing what? They're playing Smasher? Okay. So they're just not going to attack? How's that better than playing Thought-Knots here? Oh, because I guess they'd rather trade off the Smasher. But yeah, they can't attack because they're dead on board. So we play Devil, attack with everything. They block here. 2, 4. Yeah, they're just dead. Oh, I'm slow rolling them. They're just dead. Because they block here, we shoot the Messenger at them. They take 6, and then we can sack these 3 creatures. Because each when you have a Devil in play, each bombardment trigger is worth 4 damage. Or 2 damage, excuse me. Sack this. Drain you. Alright, cool, they're off it. Game number 2 against Eldrazi-tron. I'm not going to bring in Thoughtseize because I think they're going to keep in Chalice. I'm just going to bring in Blood Moon. And maybe like 2 Infernal Grasp. It's a card that I don't mind drawing. But what I want to do is I actually... I want to cut Vial because they're a Karn Chalice deck, but at the same time, Vial is good against Chalice if you have it on turn 1. So what if I just trim... I could just do some trimming. Maybe like trim 2 Vials, or 1 Vial... I know this is some weird sideboarding, but... I guess I could just cut more captains if I wanted to keep more Vials. Maybe. It's one of those matchups where, like, you want to draw exactly 1 Vial, but you really can't afford to draw the second one because you need a kind of a critical mass sometimes. We have Feeder into Bombardment into Blood Moon. Is that good enough? I feel like it's not. I think I'm actually going to ship this. Yeah, okay. This is a little bit better, I think. Just put back a fetch land. I don't know if it's better per se, but... Alright, pass the turn. Get a feeder. They do have the Chalice. We have a Cavern, so we're not terribly concerned with that. Let's just go... Attack for 1. Play Cavern, play Feeder. Alright, you can go. See if they have Temple plus Thought-Knots here. Nice thing about them having Thought-Knots here is we do have 2 Devils. Obviously, they would just take the Grasp at that point, but I think I'm okay with that. So they get mine and pass. So now we can go attack for 2, play a Devil, I think. Yeah, let's just get a basic Swamp for Blood Moon purposes and play a Devil. Alright, ship the turn, see what they got. They got a mine last turn and played it. Okay, I can beat Matter Shaper. Bajuka Bog. Okay. So let's go land, Devil, cast Carrion Feeder. I'll get to the Chalice. I think I'm going to sack this feeder to that feeder. I want to shoot the Reshaper so I can just have a good attack this turn. They have a Karn the Great Creator. Well, let's hope they don't have Tron. So this is 6 damage, they go to 11. But I can only present 2, 4, 5 other damage, so not quite lethal. Pretty darn close, though. Pretty darn close. Right, because I sack the feeder to the feeder, 2 damage. Sack the devil to the feeder, 2 damage. Sack the devil to the feeder, 1 damage. That's 5 total. If I sack feeder and then feeder, that's only 4, and I have no other sack outlet in play. They didn't have Tron, which is pretty good for us. I don't think that's good enough. Don't think that's good enough. So now we can just go grasp the ballista. Yeah, this should be lethal. Because even have 2 damage here. They shoot this feeder. I can just sack this to this feeder. Yeah, so. Save target, so we can just make this a little bit easier. Yeah, and this should be beyond lethal. Alright, cool. 1-0. I mean, deck felt pretty decent there, you know? I mean, opponent didn't put up a lot of resistance. They didn't really have much interaction, but deck felt pretty good, so 1-0. See you back here in just a little bit for round number 2. Alrighty, YouTube. Round number 2. Let's see if we can keep it going. Opponent seems to have a companion. It's a Lurrus. This hand seems awesome. I'm going to keep... I think I'm going to lead on Vial. It's a little bit worse if they have a discard spell for my champion, but usually in Lurrus matchups, your champion just kind of dies anyways, so I think it's better to have the Vial in play, but I'm really not sure. Like, if I play champion and they Thoughtseize me, they might just not take the Vial, because I'm a turn behind on the Vial anyways, so. Okay, Misty Rainforest. Don't usually see that in combination with Lurrus. So let's go... I think I'm just going to go Champion Augur. Yeah, let's go Champion Augur. It sucks because they could kill the champion in response, but... Name Zombie. Zombie. It's like if they have Fatal Push, they can just fetch an untap Shockland here to kill the champion in response, but... What's this? Hallowed Fountain, okay. Misty Rainforest, Hallowed Fountain, Lurrus. Is this like Blue-White Mill or something? Could be. I know the Blue-White Mill deck that won the challenge. I think they had Lurrus. Yeah, they did. And Misty could just be an off-color blue fetch. Alright, Basic Island, go. Basic Island, go. Oh, you know what? I definitely should have... Yeah, you know what? I don't want to play the I don't want to play the Devil this turn anyways. So let's just go... Cast Feeder. Yeah, I didn't want to play the Devil into a counterspell because I have the Vial on 2, so I'd rather just tick up the Vial. Yeah. Because what I thought I was supposed to do is go upkeep Vial trigger on the stack, Vial in the Carrion Feeder, and then cast the Devil. But if they have counterspell, casting the Devil this turn is really bad because I have the Vial on 2. I could just wait a turn. So I think it's better to do it this way, and I mean, this is just a massive amount of pressure. What's this? Thought Scour. Thought Scour me, so they're almost certainly playing the mill deck. I mean, they look to be very dead. They could have, like, Path to Exile. Champion. I'll just sack it to the feeder and draw a card. It's a pretty good start. Champion of the Parish attacking for 5 on turn 3. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think that makes that card look pretty good, huh? And that's kind of the theory behind playing the Lords, you know? You get to, like, have this go-wide approach with 8 Lords, and you still have a bunch of sack elements with, you know, Devil and the Diregraph Captain and Bombardment, all that stuff. So it's like you kind of get the best of both worlds. You have an aggressive curve, but you also have, like, the really... Oh, okay. Interesting. I'd much rather have a card than a land, I think. Yeah, I'd much rather have a card than a land. So let's do that. Yeah, not if that card's Aether Vial, I guess. Maybe not if that card's Aether Vial. Alright, so they take a 5-ball. Don't we get to take Vial up to 3. We got some crabs. Crabs. And we get to go kind of nuts with Devil plus Crawler plus Feeder. Because we can Vial... That's another sick thing about Vial in this deck. You just get to Vial and Devil and have all of your mana available to do the Gravecrawler sack stuff. So, yet another reason why I think Gravecrawler is awesome in this deck. Or Aether Vial. Obviously, Gravecrawler is great, but Aether Vial. Alright, they milled over Cavern Champion Mayhem Devil. Okay. Okay. So now we could even do something like Devil, pre-combat Violent Devil, Cast Crawler, Sack Defeater, Shoot Crab, recast Sack Defeater, Shoot Crab, attack for basically lethal. Basically 10 million damage. I did the math. It's roughly 10 million. Alright. Let's go Violent Devil. I should have cast the Crawler first. Yeah, in case they have Path. Alright, so let's go Sack Crawler, Ding the Crab. Let's go Replay Crawler, Ding the Crab. Oof, there's a lot. There's a lot of damage. Let's replay the Crawler. Get a counter on the Champion. Kind of going off here. We are going off a Grixis combo deck. Grixis combos. That's the one thing you get with Champion of the Perished as opposed to something like Humans, is you don't have like an endless stream of stuff to make Champion good. So like you get into these spots where you draw Champion of the Perished in the late game, and, you know, it's just like a complete dead card, right? But if you have Gravecrawler plus a Sack Outlet, and maybe not a Devil, and you draw a Champion of the Parish, the zombie one, well, now all of a sudden you just have like a 4/4 on the spot because you have ways to loop through, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, this card isn't as dead often in this deck as the human champion in the humans deck. That's what we're looking at. Playing against Mill. I don't know what I want to bring in against Mill. Blood Moon, no. Chalice, no. Maybe, no. Chalice on the draw is kind of awkward. It is good because they have 8 crabs, paths, and Visions of Beyond. But we are on the draw, and I think Chalice on the draw is a little awkward. I could bring in some removal. Like Thoughtseize is not bad either, although none of my cards are really that bad. Honestly, I think I might just run it back. I think I'm just going to run it back. The only thing you could maybe sell me on is, like, maybe Chalice in the play, and maybe some number of removal spells in the draw, like maybe a couple Grasps. But, again, Grasp, 2 mana, trading for a 1 mana card on the draw is not the best. So, you know, as I said in the intro, I think maybe Grasp could be better served as a couple, like a split of Grasp and Fatal Push, because Push would be better in this matchup, but... Alright, YouTube, game number 2. We're on the draw, and I got a Vial, I got a Champion, we got a Bombardment, we got some Captains. I think this hand's good. This hand seems fine to me. I got a Crab. Let's lead on Basic Swamp. I'm gonna try my best to not fetch this game, although I do have to fetch if I want to play Bombardment, so... I think I probably will end up fetching. Alright, they have another Crab. Alright, Crab, Halifun, untapped, pass. Interesting. Which is representing Path to Exile. So let's just crack for a Blood Crypt. I want to get the Blood Crypt right now as soon as possible because I only have 1 left in my deck. So I want to make sure I can cast this Bombardment before any nonsense happens. Before I get milled for my last Blood Crypt. But we don't have nearly as aggressive of a start this game, so... Don't scammer me. Okay. Milled over a Gravecrawler, thanks. That might be a little too many crabs to overcome. Might prove to be a little crabby. Little crabby. Alright, end step. Vial in Champion of the Perished. Which maybe survives, maybe not. Pathing this now. Could shoot them for 1. Or I could get a land. I actually think the land might be more important with the Gravecrawlers. I think I'll take the land. If they had trap, they would have trapped me last turn when I fetched. They could have drawn a trap for the turn, I guess, but because they drew an extra card off the Thought Scour. But I think the land is pretty important here. So let's go Violin Augur. I guess I didn't need to do this main phase because they're not playing Fatal Push. Yeah, this was bad. I shouldn't have violed in the Augur now. All right, so they're gonna mill me. We go to 22 cards. Then we'll vial in the Augur. Play this on Zombie. Play Oh Captain, My Captain. Play Gravecrawler, and we'll ship it. They're at 17. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We're honestly not that far off of lethal. If this Tasha's... Nah, Tasha's did kill us. Alright. I was going to say, we're not that far off of lethal. But we were because Tasha's killed us. Alright, do I want Thoughtseize in this matchup? I don't know. I feel like on the play I can just kind of do my thing. Maybe Captain's too slow. Maybe like 2 Captain, 2 Thoughtseize. Let's try this. I don't want to over sideboard in a matchup like this because I think on the play we're pretty heavily favored. We just need to like make sure we have a functional draw, like a really aggressive draw, I should say. But yeah, I don't want to over sideboard in a matchup like this. Game number 3 against Blue White Mill. Let's see if we can take down the Crab Menace. Yeah, see, this hand has lands and spells, but it's just not even close to aggressive enough. I have to mulligan this. One lander. I don't want to keep this. I think I'm going to go to 5. Yeah, I'm going to go to 5. Alright, we got 1, 2, and a bombardment. So keep this, put back Catacombs Cavern. And I'm going to fetch on turn 1 here. So generally, there's two lines of thinking against Mill. You either fetch as early as possible to give them the least amount of opportunity to have the trap, or you don't fetch at all. We don't have the option to not fetch at all because I need red mana to play the bombardment. And if I'm going to fetch, I want to fetch as early as possible to make it so it's less likely that they are able to trap down the road. Okay, it's not bad if I draw land. Can attack past the crab. So that's good. 17. Not bad for a mold of 5. You know, it is a mold of 5, so we're obviously not favored, but not a bad start. Maybe they stumble a little bit, we find a land and can just kind of go wide with Double Lord. They got a fetch. Mill the Gravecrawler, so that's not bad, because we have Bombardment. Cycle Visions, I like to see that. That is really good for me. And we drew a land. I think I'm just going to play the Captain. I think I'm just going to try and go wide here. And then I can maybe Gravecrawler plus Bombardment next turn. I think that makes sense. Alright, so 7, yeah. I guess they could fetch Shock Path. Like Path the Captain. Path the Captain block here, go to 11. Seems like they're going to Path the Captain. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to land. Block the Skaab, take 3, go to 11. Alright, okay. The reason I search for a land there is because I want to have more mana with the Gravecrawler, because I'm going to play the Bombardment next turn. That's kind of why I wanted the extra land. I know it's a little bit risky against Trap, but they didn't trap us on 1, so I thought it made sense. Thought it was fine. And just having Gravecrawler plus Sack Outlet means I just want as much mana as possible. Alright, another Delta. Delta pass. I'm going to try and kill the crab here, I think. I guess I could have attacked first prior to playing the bombardment, because maybe them not knowing I have the bombardment means they just block. Yeah, I probably was supposed to attack first here. I definitely want to cast the bombardment over the messenger this turn, but I probably should have attacked first. Gives them less information. Alright, they let the bombardment resolve. Let's just go to combat. See what's happening. Does that mean they're not blocking? No blocks. They're at 6. Let's cast Gravecrawler. Let's Dome you for 1. And let's cast Gravecrawler. Now they're at 5, and we have 3 damage in play. Well, they're going to 4. That's for an island, yeah. Your turn. So they have, like, Cycle Fractured Sanity here? Okay. Cycle Visions. Okay with that. There's the Fractured Sanity. We'll deliver another Gravecrawler. Not that it really matters when we have a Sack Outlet, but... Alright, we're on 34 cards. Do the math real quick and see if Tasha's is lethal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 18, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 31. We have, what, 12 threes, 8 twos, and 16 ones. So that's 16, 32, plus 36 would be 68. Minus, what we say, 31? So the total CMC of my deck right now is 37. Oh wait, there's an exiled card. So total CMC is 34. Minus 5 would be 29. Minus 4 would be 25. So it should be 25, I think. So if they have Tashes, I don't believe it's lethal. I think the total CMC is 25. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not lethal. Yeah, not even close. Cool. Well, oh, they're also at 3. I could have just, I'm just gonna kill them. Yeah, I forgot they went to 3. In doing all the math, I hadn't realized that they just cracked the fetch and went to 3. So obviously I just had lethal in play. But I was, I'm just trying to do the math for YouTube, okay? It's fine. Don't yell at me. I know you like to yell at me in the comments, but it's fine. Anyways, we're 2-0. I'll see you back here in just a little bit for number 3. Alrighty, YouTube, 2-0, round number 3. Opponent revealed Giganta, a.k.a. the Tron Fun Police. Sand is not very good. Man, it has some upside, though. We have Crawler into Skaab. We find another 1-drop. Maybe it's fast enough. I mean, obviously, they could maybe be something that's not Tron, but I kind of usually associate Giganta with Tron. Is this hand good enough in the dark? Let's assume this doesn't exist, right? Is this hand good enough? I don't think so. Like, take the human's perspective, for example. If this hand was like 4 lands, a Vial, you know, a Champion of the Parish, and a Meddling Mage. Like, that hand's just not keepable in humans, right? Or a Lieutenant. Champion, Lieutenant, Vial, 4 lands. Maybe that's more keep. I'm like talking myself into keeping it. I'm just gonna keep. I don't know. I shouldn't compare the two decks, but okay. There's Zoo. Am I happy that I have this hand against Zoo? Kind of. I mean, it's definitely better than Tron, because that matchup is way more winnable than Tron. Tron is tough. Let me tell you, Tron is a tough matchup. We got Blood Moons in the sideboard, but it's like Blood Moon and Prey kind of thing. Alright, Arid Mesa going to get... That can't get Breeding Pool, notably. So they can't play Sign of Draco this turn, which is pretty good for us. Alright, they got a Hierarch. They're going to hold up Bolt. Let's go... Delta for a Watery Grave. Let's play Bladestitched Skaab. So we can go Skaab, put in a 1-drop, and then next turn... Vial in the stack, Vial in the 1-drop, tick up, Vial, land, Captain. And then have 4 things in play and hope that's good. Red, white, blue, Mantis Rider. Okay. Mantis Rider has entered the fray. So we'll take 5, go to 11. Just get burned out. Alright, let's put in the Carrion Feeder, I think. No, let's put in the Gravecrawler. So, Vial on the stack. Vial in the Carrion Feeder. Tick up the Vial. Get a basic Swamp. I think it's better to play the Captain this turn. It's just more pressure. I think so. So this is 7. And I'm representing 4 more damage. Well, actually only 3, right? Because I go sack, sack, sack. Yeah, it's only 3 more. So they go to 8. Would it have been better if I played the Feeder? Eh, it might have been. I still don't think I could have killed them, right? So I put in Feeder, sack, Crawler. That's a damage. It's only 1 more damage because the Feeder has less base power than the Crawler anyway. So I need to play. I need to sack 2 things to get the Feeder up to. You know what I mean? Alright, so let all this happen. Take 5, so I imagine they don't have Tribal Flames? I can't block. Okay, no Tribal Flames. That's good for us. So Val goes up to 3. And we should have lethal. So I'm missing something. Let's file in the Messenger. Do that. Sack the Messenger. Deal them a bunch of damage. They could have Helix, but we should be able to beat Helix. We should have more than enough to beat Helix. Because we also get 4 more off the Crawler, so... Oh, not if they Helix the Captain, though. They're Helixing me. Okay. So that comes back, and then we go... Sack Crawler... Yeah, they're just super dead. Sack Crawler, Recast Crawler, Sack Crawler, Recast Crawler, Sack Crawler, Recast Crawler, Sack Crawler, go Zombie, Recast Crawler, Sack Crawler. Alright, cool. They're off it. Game number 2. Playing against Tribal Zoo, which... Yeah, man, this sideboard this sideboard is bad. we gotta figure out a better sideboard. This is a tough sideboard. Again, I'm just trying some stuff out, but yeah, the sideboard needs a little bit of work. I want Blood Moon. Blood Moon is kind of lights out against them usually. Thoughtseize, no. Chalice, no. Explosives. The problem with explosives is they have like 3s and 4s on top of not that many 1s. Like they have mana dorks and then a bunch of cards that cost 3 and 4 mana, so I don't think EE is actually that good. I'm going to trim on the captains because I want to lower my curve a little bit, and then trim the 4th vial. No, let's trim the 4th bombardment. I think Vial's more important than bringing in Blood Moon. Alright, let's see what they're up to. Well, I got a 1-lander with a Vial. But we have a Blood Moon on the draw? No, I'm still going to mulligan, I think. Okay, this hand's much, much better. I'm going to put back the Marsh Flats, I think? Yeah, put back the second fetch. Alright. Let's go. I'm going to go Cavern named Zombie, Aether Vial. And then turn 2, we can cast a feeder, hold up the Vial on 1 to Vial in the other feeder. And then maybe turn 3, maybe we play a Devil, see what they do. It's not bad for a 6. Can't complain. I'd like to draw a Gravecrawler or something to get back from the graveyard to go with Carrion Feeder plus Devil, but ask and you shall receive. Alright, Zombie. Your turn. No prismatic ending, please. I don't know if their deck has prismatic ending. I would assume it does. Also, leading on basic forest with Mantis Rider seems kind of weird, unless they cut that card. But, like, even if it's not in your opening hand, you still could draw it, you know? Unless they're, like, really playing around Blood Moon. Which they could be. Yeah, they definitely are. General Ferris Rockerick. Okay. Well, that card is kind of bad against Devil, but we can't Devil this turn. So why don't we play this, crack a fetch, play Aether Vial, Gravecrawler, and ship it. And the second Vial's kind of bad here. Second Vial is not great. Alright, no blocks. No blocks in our can't block tribal. Green, white. Rest in peace. I don't like to see that. I don't like to see that. Unless they're on all lands, then I don't mind it, but... They have a bolt. Choosing not to cast, even if they have a bolt. Alright, let's pick up our vials. What we got? Alrighty then. That is not what we're looking for. Definitely not what we're looking for. So let's go Violin this feeder, sack this feeder to this feeder. I guess I could have played the third vial, but I think the third vial is so irrelevant that I'd rather just conceal information about my hand. Okay. What's this? Shardless Agent. Alrighty. What do we got? Into Bolt. Yeah, this is looking grim. It's looking grim. At least we get to be on the play for game 3. So there's that. It's looking pretty grim for our hero. But it's definitely the villain here. They're the bad guy with the rest in peace. Alright, let's just go to game 3. I have seen enough. Alright, against Rest in Peace, I could bring in Thoughtseize, but Thoughtseize is so bad against the rest of their deck. I wonder if I want to just not bring in Blood Moon given how aggressively they fetch basics. I mean, it's still just kind of lights out. I'm going to keep it. All right, game number 3. On the play, just pretty good. Definitely where you want to be. Speaking of being on the play, we thought about adding Ragavan to this deck in the Twitch chat last night. We were talking about it. One lander, no, not like this. Okay, this is a 2-lander. I think this hand plays. Question is, what do I put back? I think I put back the Undead Augur, because this one is especially the absolute worst against Rest in Peace. Let's do that. Let's get a Crypt. Play a Champion. The Champion. Now, what you got? What you got, opponent? Alright. Land in a 1-drop. Land in a 1-drop. Land in a 1-drop. Or a bolt. I don't know. We'll see. That's not a bolt. That's not a bolt. I think I'm just going to play Feeder. Attack for 2. Your turn. Could play the Bombardment there, but I'm getting a sack outlet either way, and the nice thing about playing the Feeder is it pumps the champion. Alright, let's just fetch a Watery Grave. My turn. Drew the Messenger. So I can offer the champion trade for Scion? Is that a good trade for me? I think so. Huh, this is interesting. So I could play Messenger, champion gets pumped, attack with just champion. They block, I sack Messenger, champion gets another counter, sack Messenger to Feeder. And then my board is Messenger, 4-3 Feeder, or excuse me, 4-3 Messenger, 2-2 Feeder versus just this. And then next turn, yeah, I think that's good, because that allows me to put the most pressure on them this turn. So I think it's good. I think that makes sense. They might not block. They might have to block. Depends on what their hand is. I think either way, if they don't, even if they block or don't block, I'm probably still just gonna sack this because it's just more damage. All right, they do decide to block. Understandable. All right, damage. They're 11. I got a 4-3 and a 2-2, and they got a Hierarch. Still got some gas in the tank too, so not too bad. I think that trade's good. Because the thing is, I don't even have another zombie in my hand, right? So even if I don't make that trade, like, they get to attack me for 5, and, like, maybe I just don't even draw a zombie next turn anyways. So, I think I like that trade. Red-green. Tribal Flame, so they're going to kill all my stuff this turn. All my stuff is dying. Just a Rest in Peace. Okay, sure. Ooh. Do we do that? I think so. Let's play the Devil next turn. Go to 8. It just cuts them off so much. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Cuts them off white and blue, which means they can't play like Prismatic Ending, they can't play Shardless Agent, they can't play General Ferris Rockerick. Or the Tribal Flames, I guess, but that was gonna happen anyways. Oh, they can't even Tribal Flames this thing now. Because, that play was 100% right. Because now they can't Tribal Flames. I got some Hierarchs, sure. Still no blue or white mana. Still no avenues to Tribal Flames. 5, play a Devil, return. Devil Blood Moon, I guess not the best combination, because it shuts off all your fetches, but should be fine. Red-green, Territorial Kavu 2/2. Okay. Red-black, black. Giganta. I think I can beat that stuff. Attack with both my homies. They have to block both in order to not die. Which they do. Alright, bombardment. Go. Oh, I guess I could have cut them off red. Yeah, but I don't want to sack either of my creatures, though. Because I have to sacrifice a creature to kill both of these. I guess I could sack the feeder, because I have another sack outlet here. But then I'm giving up 2 damage to them. Because, like, even if they just tap out for Giganta, they're still just dead here, right? And they have green and red mana either way, so the only color I'm cutting them off of is black. And I don't even think they have black spells. So, I don't know, it just feels like sacrificing, trading this for these two. Yeah, I mean, they have Giganta. I guess if they play Giganta, if they have land plus Giganta, then they're not dead. Unless I draw a creature to cast, because then I can go shoot them, shoot the Giganta, attack with both. Yeah, so. I don't think it makes sense for me to sack a feeder there. Because what happens if I sack feeder, kill both of their hierarchs, and then they just draw bolt, right? They bolt the devil, I dome them for 2, they're at 3, but now I have nothing in play. So, I don't know. Alright, they're electing to not attack. I accept. I'll cast Undead Augur. What say you? So now they're going to bolt the devil. And now I think I'm just going to kill the hierarchs. Because I kill the hierarchs, put them to 2, and then have 2 lethal creatures. Yeah, I think that makes sense, right? Because I could sack my things and put them to 1, but I think that's just worse. So let's do kill your 2 hierarchs. I think that makes sense. Okay, they're off it. Cool. 3-0. Deck felt, I don't know, you know. We Blood Moon the 5-color deck, so that is what that is. But anyways, we're 3-0. Deck's feeling pretty good so far. Let's see if we can keep it going. I'll see you back here in just a little bit for round number 4. Alrighty, YouTube, round number 4. I got a double vial hand, which is not the best. But if we draw some spells, like we have an Augur, which means we're gonna be up a card off of the Augur. I think this hand is like just barely keepable. Not in love with it, but M. Hayashi with a basic plains, huh? I can't say I've seen that before. M. Hayashi basic plains, huh? What you got? What you got? M. Hayashi, very well known for playing the mono red prowess style decks. Wall of Omens. Okay. Well, I drew 2 lands, so yeah, it's not looking great. I'm gonna save the fetch lands for Mayhem Devil if I find that. But yeah, keeping a 3-lander, drawing 2 lands, or keeping a 3-land double vial hand, drawing 2 lands is not the best. Charming Prince. Okay. Flicker that, draw a card. Ooh, that's bad. I think we found a horrendous matchup. Okay, let's just go... I'm gonna play the Messenger here, get Blood Crypt. And I assume they're gonna pop the Blast Zone here. They have a land, of course. would imagine their turn is going to be involving popping Blast Zone, which is not great for me, but nope, another Charming Prince. Blinking all their stuff. So they don't have a land. Okay, that's good for us. Need to find some gas. I don't want to trade for that. No way. Absolutely not. Undead Augur. I draw a card off of that. Let's untap. Hopefully we draw another Lord. Maybe just shove. We can play the Captain. I'm going to go up to 3 and 2, I think. Yeah, let's go up to 3 and 2. Ooh. Alright, let's cast Goblin Bombardment. See what they do about this. They might respond to this. They have like a Dismember or something. Solitude. I don't like that. Alright, exile the Augur. Sure. I go to 16. Alright, Solitude dead. How about now? Bombardment resolved. Alright, attack you with Messenger. See if we get a wall for free. We do. I'll take the free wall. Yeah, we're still in a horrible spot, but, you know, I'll take the free wall. I'll take the free wall. Free wall. And if we draw a Gravecrawler, we're chilling if we draw a Gravecrawler. That's approximately 1,000 damage. I can't count that high. I can't count that high. Alright, they're going to sacrifice Blast Zone. Sure. Dead. Vials down. Let's see. If I sack the Messenger EOT... Okay. I'm going to leave the Catacombs uncracked in case I find Mayhem Devil. Did not find Mayhem Devil. Alright, attack. I could have sacked the Messenger EOT to get an extra point, but I kind of thought I wanted to save it in case I draw another Captain or a Mayhem Devil. Might have been a little bit better to get the extra point on the Messenger there. I'm not sure. It's close. You could make an argument either way, I think. Alright, combat. Combat is being declared. I declare no blocks. What's this? Charming Prince. Okay. Are they going to flicker? No, they're going to gain 3. They're at 16. I kind of still want to hold it. If I dome them EOT, Bombardment puts them to 15, Captain puts them to 14, Messenger puts them to 12. And then I have a 5-4, they're at 12. They take 5, go to 7. And then I have lethal in play if they attack me with all 3. So it does change the clock. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Just because it changes the clock by a whole turn. Alright. They go to 12. Yeah, and then I attack for 5. They go to 7, then I have 7 in play. I would love to draw a Gravecrawler or a Mayhem Devil. Okay, take a Devil. So now... I could play Devil pre-combat, crack 2 fetches, kill the Prince, attack for 7. I kind of think I want to play Devil pre-combat regardless in case they have Ephemerate. Because this, like, might prompt them to use Ephemerate. They're going to Path the Messenger. Okay, so now I can plunk the untapped Charming Prince. They lose a life. Path happens. That happens. Crack a Marsh Flats. Plunk this thing. Let's just get... Watery Grave, doesn't matter. Then we can attack them to 8. Right, and then we have... They're at 8, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. So we have 4 damage in play right now. Because this counts... Oh, no, this doesn't count itself. So we sack this to Bombardment. That's a damage there. This doesn't count itself. Oh, but we get a damage here, right? So we get a damage off of this. Sack this. Dome you for 1. Trigger here. That's 1, 2. Sack this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually. Okay. So we have 5 damage. Am I going upstairs or am I hitting the Prince? They're at 8 life. I don't think I'm sacrificing the Captain. I'm just trying to think if I want to crack the Catacombs. I mean, I'm going to crack the Catacombs and sack the Devil to the Bombardment. I'm just trying to think if I want to deal them the damage or Prince. I think I just want to go upstairs. I think I want to go upstairs. Yeah, I'm going to go upstairs. So they're at 5. And we only have 1 more damage in play. Yeah, maybe this was too aggressive. Might have been too aggressive. 4 Charming Prince, huh? Okay. Gravecrawler's still lethal. That one is not quite lethal. It is a 2/3. That does blank their attacks. So I guess I'll cast it. And so right now I have sack this for 2, sack this for 1. That's only 3 damage. Alright, you can go. Don't think I can attack. So I guess I have to eat a Prince, trade for a Prince, go to 2, and then just keep the 2/3 in play. I wonder if I messed this game up. It's possible I was supposed to go after Charming Prince instead of them when I domed them for 3. I could have domed them for 1, like when they path the Devil last turn. I could have went after 1 Prince and then domed them for 1, which they'd be at 9 with 1 less Prince, and I'd be at 6. So yeah, that would be a little bit better. So that was probably where I messed up. I think I probably should have gone after Charming Prince last turn. My only worry with going after Prince was like, what if they had an Ephemerate? But because I'm losing my other creature, if they have Ephemerate, I'm kind of screwed either way, right? So I think that play that I made last turn was just bad. Flicker Wisp. So I guess we're not technically dead, but I have to lose my entire board. Not really sure how I'm winning. Yeah, I don't think I have any outs now. So I go to 2. Yeah, I don't think I have outs. Definitely not that. Okay. Mono white, I guess, Flicker? I'm not really sure what to call this deck, but what are we sideboarding against them? Infernal Grasp, no. Blood Moon, no. Chalice, no. None of these cards really seem that good. Maybe Explosives, because they probably have Rest in Peace. So just like bring in a couple of these, trim a Captain, trim a Vial. Let's do it. Alright, game number 2. We're on the play. Playing against mono white. I don't know. Just mono white, that's what we'll call it. One lander on the play, but I have 4 1-drops. I think I have to keep this. I'm actually going to get a basic too, because they showed us a bunch of Field of Ruins game 1, so I'm going to try and turn those off. Seems just like a nice aggressive hand. I think it's fine. Like, yeah, sure, it's a 1-lander, but, you know, we have forecastable spells. I think it's okay. Draw any land, this hand is just insane. Cave of the Frost Dragon. Did not draw a land. Maybe they'll path me. No, cycle Secluded Step. Attack for 2. Ah, they got something. Do they have something? They do. Right. Solitude, my thing. Your turn. Yeah, I guess I probably should have mulliganed the sand. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Batterskull. Not Cauldra. It's not looking great for the home team. Maybe they already have Cauldra in their hand. We appear to be dead. Yeah, I mean, I kept a loose hand, for sure. Batterskull. Alright, champion go. There's the Batterskull. Alright, I have officially seen enough. Alright, well, I guess I kept a loose hand. Anyways, see if we can get the 4-1. I'll see you back here in just a little bit for round number 5. Alright, YouTube, round number 5. Let's see if we can shake off the last loss to mono white stuff, I'm still going to call it. This hand's missing blue mana, and we don't have a third land for these 2 messengers. I'm going to ship it. I learned my lesson about the last game. Oh no. 5 land vial Skaab. I mean, I've won on Mold of 5s before. Well, I guess we're going to 4. Alright, I guess I'm gonna keep back all the fetches, I think. Sure. 2 land, a Skaab, and a messenger. Well, we'll be going to game 2 here pretty quickly. They have an Obosh. They have an Obosh. Obosh. Zombie. Alright. 2-3. How do you beat it? 2-3. How do you beat it? They cast Lightning Bolt. They have defeated my 2-3. Man. Thought they couldn't beat it. Give me a land, please. Okay, not a land. I mean, the good news is if they play Blood Moon, it's like mana fixing. I get to play my Goblin Bombardment. So there is some good news. Pillage. Oh, man. That's hilarious. Alright, well, you know. Mold of 4. Yeah, I'm just not even going to bother. Alright, game number 2 against Mono Red Obosh. I think he's good. No Thoughtseize, no Grasp, no Chalice. Man, this side, we need to work on this sideboard. I'm just going to do the same thing I did last time. Let's go! Alright. Game number 2. Let's try not to mull to 4 this time. Please. I would appreciate not mulling to 4. Okay. I guess I can live with this. I'm going to lead with Crawler. Usually when you lead with Feeder, they just instantly kill it, and I would kind of rather just wait on that a little bit. I have a Ragavan. Looks like it. Oh, they have Spikefield Hazard. It's not a bad draw, but I think I have to get a Blood Crypt here because I have... Well, no, because I'm never going to Explosives on 3, right? Or on 2. Yeah, let's just get a Swamp. Spikefield Hazard, man. Beats. Beats, beats, beats. I feel like everything that could go wrong in this match has gone wrong. What's the worst case scenario here? Yeah, probably that. I would say probably that. And make sure they do the 2 and 2. I won't have 6. They did 2 and 2, alright. They exiled the best card in their deck, though. Hammer Up a Garden. How do they win if they exile the best card in their deck? Alright, go. I guess that was a reason to get a Watery Grave. Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. Land. Thank you. Messenger. Messenger is quite good against them. I will say that. I usually have to spend a lot of resources to kill it, and we have 2 of them. So, you know, maybe we're okay. Maybe we're okay. Give them their Spikefield Hazard, but they still have to 2-for-1 themselves, right? They Hazard the Messenger and Spellbomb it. Season Pyramids. Okay. Discarded Furies? No, discarded Spikefield Hazard. Okay. Let's attack for 3. And let's send him another message. Message. Message received. Message received. Alright, they're at 14. That's fine. Just get back some 4/3s. I'm down with that. Trigger. Trigger. They're at 10. It's not bad. Yeah, that makes sense. Not bad, not bad. Could be worse. Could be significantly worse. Does that have 4 Furies? That's 3. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, they've had to use a lot of resources. Alright, my messengers are dead, and they have no cards. I mean, they have 2 Pyromancers, I guess, in this, but... they've had to use a lot of resources to kill that stuff. Alright, I got a 3-2 and a 2-3. What you got? Another Spellbomb. Alright, champion down. They still can't attack. Huh, we're somehow still not in the best position. Even though we like 10-for-1 them with the messengers. Maybe not 10-for-1, but you know what I mean. I guess I could E for 3. Seems like a fine play. And then just try to grind through the tokens. I can't attack because they just double block. Attack is bad. Yeah, they still have an Obosh too. Yeah, they're obviously not going to play the giant into... maybe they will now. Nope, they're just going to hold up Pyromancer. I guess I could have not blocked to incentivize the... Okay, that actually was not a bad draw, because now I can play this, attack for 3. I assume they're going to go crack, chump block. Maybe they just Blast Zone. Yeah, so they just Blast Zone here, but this is like not that bad, because they don't know... I guess this actually is bad, because now I don't want to play the Bombardment. So like they pop this, I pop this... Yeah, this was bad. I probably should have just attacked. Just not played this, maybe? Yeah. It's also bad, right? Because I can play the Bombardment to say if they pop the Blast Zone, crack them for 2. But that's just not good. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah. Well, we had double Messenger, and I think we're still gonna lose this game. I'm going to use my mana here in case I draw a 2-drop. I don't know if that's good, but... Alright, my turn. Your turn. Another Blast Zone. Alright, there's a Bone Crusher. It's our best draw. Certainly not that. Certainly not that. Maybe this game's different if I don't play the second Skaab into the Blast Zone, but I'm still in a bad spot. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take the 3-2 for a new deck. You know, not that bad. I'll take a 3-2. We started off so well. Started off 3-0, and then the wheels fell off. Again, I think the core here is decent. I like the approach of aggressive cards, ton of lords. I just think that maybe not the full 8 lords. Maybe trim down on the captain, and you can fit some other stuff in there. Also, probably too many lands. Generally, humans, I know it's a different deck, but humans usually plays about 18 to 19 lands with Vial. So you could probably get away with one less land at least. Maybe that makes room for a couple additional 2-drops. You can try Tainted Adversary. Something like, you know, Crypt Breaker maybe, as the games go along, could be good. And the sideboard needs a lot of work. But overall, very impressed with Champion of the Perished. The games where we had it on turn 1 and it didn't die, it was quite powerful. So overall impressions of that card are thumbs up so far. So I hope you enjoyed this little sneak preview, not sneak preview I guess, but this little look into Innistrad Modern. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.